Hey, Steven, this is Parker from Route From Here. Are you there?
Hi Parker, how's it going today?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, thanks for jumping on real quick. Happy to help if I can. Why don't you tell me kind of what's going on or what kind of questions you have?
Yeah, definitely. So I have a growing business, and we service houses and buildings in a radius around us. And I have a couple new clients that I'm looking to take on, and I want to make sure that it's going to be profitable for us to add on these new clients, even though they are much further away. And I was hoping to see if Route for Me can help out with that.
Yeah, sure. Why don't I just jump in and show you? Can you see my screen?
Yep, I sure can.
Perfect. All right, I'm just at our home page, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. So I'm actually logged in, so it just goes to my account home. Um, Yeah, I think what you're going to need to use or be able to use is a feature we call the address book. So the address book can be displayed as a list or a map. So it doesn't really matter what I put in there or when I enter customers into the address book. They'll show up on the list as well as the map. So I'll just show you the list real quick. And let's go ahead and pretend like we're going to add a customer in here. So let's go ahead and click File. Let's say one of those customers comes up, and you probably don't know where every single address is. If you have a larger territory, but you just click File, Add Address, and type in their alias, location details, obviously their address, and as soon as you enter this address, it will show up on the map in the address book. You with me so far, or any
Yeah,
questions?
cool. So I
You
so I
probably
could put in a new address, call it a new location, and even color it something so
yeah,
it's easier to show up on the map. Yeah.
yeah. You can even go as far as to put in some custom data. So you could say, hey, I want to put in revenue, right? So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and put in some revenue, and so maybe this customer, you kind of know that they're going to represent a certain amount of revenue. So whatever it is, you can put that in, and maybe that's per stop, or maybe it's this much per stop. I don't know, whatever the figure is. So you can put in custom data like that, and I'll kind of explain that later. But basically, you could see what it would be like to add them to a route and see what kind of how that would change the revenue, and compare that to your costs and your profit. So you might even have the cost of servicing this, or cost of goods sold. You might even have maintenance or hourly costs or anything like that. So you can put all those figures in, and Route for Me will return and say, hey, if you add this to this route, it will change the entire route's numbers. So you might be profitable, you might not be, but you'll at least be able to know if you are or aren't. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. I would love to be able to see it on the map. See
Yeah.
it really.
Okay, sure. So like, I'll just show you an example. Yeah. So let's go over the map. So I've got a few pinpoints on the map. I've got a few territories built. Always have a service. So this is what you'll see as soon as you enter an address into the address book, or a customer or a prospective customer. You'll see that, okay, we've got them as pinpoints on the map, and you can change the pinpoint icon or colors as you saw. This is the headquarters, for example. So this is where our trucks leave from. And our drivers leave from here. But if you say, hey, normally I have a certain service area, I want to see what that service area is, you can just draw a circle real quick and say, okay, here's the service area. And so if a new customer comes in, you can see the radius of this circle is 92.3 miles. And you can save these as a territory. So I just have one here. Here's my saved territory, which is a service area. I can see I've got 63 in here, and you can also right click on it and set the radius. So if you wanted to change the radius, this is 100 square miles right here. So if you said, hey, I want to change that to 110, you can click OK, and it's going to boost it out a little bit. You can see that this one address over here, so like let's pretend that that was your customer or prospective customer who called in, or even an existing customer, and you say, that guy's kind of way out there. He's not within even a 110-mile radius. That might not make sense to even provide them service. So that customer could actually be costing you money, which is not good unless you're saying, hey, I really want to, maybe I need to move into the Nashville area and start getting some customer accounts here, or get, 3 to 5 and add a new driver or a truck or something like that. So that's one way to do it. I mean, you can even see real quick, is he within a 125-mile radius? Let's boost that up real quick. Just barely, right at the
Yep,
tip there.
just
So
barely.
yeah, and again, you can change this, so you can kind of pull it back down. It tells you the radius, change it very quickly. And for example, you might say, hey, here's my territory. I can build it. You might have, individual territories built where it's like, okay, I have a territory. I know that I service these. Maybe it's per zip code. A lot of our customers, operate per zip code, so they'll basically draw, the territories. And if you add an address, for example, I'll just add one real quick. Um, and it's way out here, you might say, look, I don't have anything near there. I just really can't service that. That doesn't make sense. Sorry, we really can't do business. So you can analyze your existing customers. And just like I said, you might have a customer who, if you go in and you see this kind of outlier, you can go in and see what kind of revenue they have. So this represents this much. You can kind of see how profitable your routes are once you build them. See the revenue that is created either by a new customer if you're going to add them to a route or add them into a territory, for example, and plan a route that way. And it's going to give you all those numbers, so you'll really easily be able to see that. So does that help? I mean,
Yeah, that definitely helps quite a bit, especially if I could look at adding a new driver in here in the software and seeing if that would make sense for me to move into the Nashville area. That's definitely something that could help me with finding that information out, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, and it depends on your business, right? But I mean, if you've got customers there, the likelihood that you have other customers nearby, I've had customers who say, yeah, we've used this as an expansion tool because we can now see where our customers are on a map, and when we can't service someone, we just keep their information. A lot of times they want to switch anyway, so we just say, hey, let us build up in that area, and you might need to just hire another driver until maybe you set up another headquarters out of Nashville, so you can actually expand your business. And you should be able, using Route4Me, obviously, to optimize your routes. So you might even be able to optimize your routes and open up a new territory. That driver might have to drive a little bit further, but you should be able to do so. So yeah, great. Glad we could help. Any other questions, or is this going to help?
No, you pretty much covered it. Thank you very much.
All right, great. If you have any other questions, just reach out to our support. Reach out to us anytime. We're always happy to help. Just click the help button, and we'll be there for you. Thanks, Stephen.
Great. Thanks.